You know, folks, I've talked about this last year, and I talked about this at the beginning of this year. But in all honesty, and I do apologize if I sound like I'm a little out of it. I just got off work about about an hour and 41 minutes ago, and got home about an hour and 30, basically about 95 minutes ago. So I do apologize if I'm a little out of it. But, you know, I've talked about this before, like I said, a lot during last year, and, you know, and I kind of talked about how I'm still, I guess you could say, campaigning on it, or at least, you know, trying to support the idea, or at least try to find if there's any similarities out there. Now, I don't think it's no secret that I'm a fan of Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer music video. I mean, who isn't? Who is not a fan of that video? I mean, it was for a music video in 1986, it was very innovative. It was ahead of its time. You know, people rank it up there in the same talk of like Michael Jackson's Thriller and stuff like that. It was just very innovative at the time. I mean, you know, some people might say, well, there were others just like it. Yeah, well, where do you think they kind of got the inspiration? They got the idea. But anyway, you know, talking about Sledgehammer, he was a music video that in 1986. So, I mean, it's almost going to be 30 years. 30 years next year, or it is 30 years if you just count this year and you don't do the birthday thing or the anniversary thing, or depending on how you count birthday, anniversaries, whatever. It's basically around the 30th anniversary since, you know, that music video came to existence, or at least the idea for the album that spawned that song, and then its music video came into being. You know, here was a song that when you first heard it on the radio, you're probably thinking, hey, it's got a good beats, everything's pretty cool. And even back then, and you know, and especially back then, you knew if you heard it on the radio that you were bound to see a music video. You just didn't know how creative that video was going to be until you saw it. And boy, did it really surprise you. And ever since then, you've had, in my opinion, male and female artists trying to basically take a page or remake in their own kind of way videos very similar to it, or at least try to capture that same magic that he did, that Peter Gabriel did when he did that video. They're trying to capture that magic, that same magic, even nowadays. And there's a lot of candidates out there that are very, very much eligible for it. I mean, just looking and searching, I find out about other male and female artists and bands that are doing it, and it's amazing. You know, it really surprises me. You know, you got Bojack, BJ, which her name is spelled Bjork, Bojack, and she's still doing it to this day. I mean, heck, she just had a new music video. It's very creative, not in the same vein as a Sledgehammer, but still very creative. And then you have another video she did for the moving album cover, or something like that, the family moving album cover. And basically it's Bojack just lying down, like she's just like almost a Han Solo-like encasement. She's just all silver imprint. She's basically imprinted in silver on a rock. With, you know, she's got a mouth capped open, her hair down, she's all just merged with a rock, she's just one with it. And then this goo comes out and becomes like some kind of outfit for her, brings her to life. It's just amazing. I mean, and she's done very similar stuff at times with her videos. And then you got Lady Six, Ladi6, Lady 6. And it's like, this girl's pretty creative herself. You know, here she did a video last year, can't think of the name right now. It's a drawing of her It's an animation video, but it's basically her face, and then sometimes just her lips, talking and all that. So that's pretty cool to see. And then I think I mentioned there was other ones, like that one girl that did the jelly bean one. That was pretty much almost very reminiscing. And like I said in the video last year, I think it proves that it can be done. And then you have another one, Miss Kitten, which is Kittin, and she does videos very similar in some ways. So I know the possibilities out there, and I apologize for the bird in the background. But like I said, I know the possibilities are out there. They really are. I mean, you don't just have something like Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer and not have people wanting to capture that same magic that he did, even to this day. You know, I take a look at Fifth Harmony in the music video for their version of Sledgehammer, whether it's the same song or it's just a song with the name. You know, I look at that and I'm thinking, well, if it's a song with the name, but it's not the same song, then that's fine, understandable. But I see creativeness there. I really do. I see it there all the time. I see it there with a lot of these artists. You know, Taylor Swift, she's going in this new direction with her career, and she's got such creativeness when it comes to the songs that she does, as well as probably the videos that follow. You know, here's a girl that can really take it to that next level. And there's a lot of other female artists, and even male artists that do it too, but mostly I've seen the female artists go to that direction. You know, you have, like I said, you have Lady Six, she did that animation video last year, then she did another one before that, where, you know, she is portrayed as all these different kind of like different kind of heart characteristic characters. And this one main skeleton character, or alien character, is trying to use one to like bring him to life or something like that, and then he finds this big fuzzy one, and it's like unbelievable. And then on top of that, you got people like MIA. I saw a video she did like 4 years ago, recently, and it's like, you know, why can't any other videos be this creative? And I sometimes think that it's all up, and sometimes I know it's all up to the artist sometimes, because they have to have a say on how the video is going to go. And I know there's a lot of artists, like I said, that have that ability. They really do. They just need to take advantage of it. You know, I take a look at the female animators out there, independent animators like Joanna Presley. When she first started back in 1987-88, ironically a year or two after Sledgehammer came out, in my opinion, you could see there was influence from what Peter did in that video, you know, in her projects. Especially the voices short that she did featuring herself, where throughout the video, throughout that what was it, 7-8 minute short, she was basically represented as a drawing. It showed a little bit of a live action, it was mostly her as a drawing, but mostly, and you kind of got a little bit of live action in there. Maybe that was something they wanted to keep in, or not. But basically, throughout the whole thing, she was animated, and throughout the whole animation short of voices, she turned into different things. She turned into a mouse character. She turned into a lot of abstract art, a cat, you know, everything. I mean, alien stuff like that. She turned into everything. And then when they did Candy Jam, when she did Candy Jam, right at the beginning, you get almost in my opinion, almost a Sledgehammer-like face of Joanna's made out of candy. And then I think those two little faces in candy that you see, one of them was her, or representing her, and then the other was probably a friend of hers, in my opinion. in my opinion. So, to me, that really showed me even back then that it can be done. The female artist, music artist, animated artist can do this. They can, and I think the reason sometimes I think this, and I know I'm not alone in it, the reason a lot of people want to see female artists go in this direction and take it to that next level and be creative and create that next Sledgehammer-like music video, the video that catapulted Peter Gabriel to superstardom, do the same for them, is because we know they have that. We know they can have fun doing it. They can have creative fun doing it. I take a look at someone like Nicki Minaj. I take a look at someone like I mentioned, Taylor Swift. Who else? If they wanted to get her back to her roots, Lady Gaga at times. I take a look at all these female artists that are established, even Beyonce, if you will. And I take a look at, even up-and-coming female singers and stuff and artists, internationally, independently, homegrown, whatever. And I see them one day, and I know I'm not the only one, one of them doing that, breaking that glass ceiling and capturing the same magic that Sledgehammer has, or had. I could see them creating a music video very similar to it, with their own songs. I could see a video where the female artist or group or whatever, the female singer, does exactly similar. I mean, today's technology has proven it can be done. Take a look at Joan Wise, I think. I think that's her name, Joan Wise. She did that peppermint thing last year. And that was very Sledgehammer-like in some ways. Like I said, Lady Six, she did hers last year. Very Sledgehammer-like in some ways. Elizabeth Cook. Here's somebody, Elizabeth Cook, back in the early 2000s, did her song Stupid Things. Stop motion, everything, had a Sledgehammer-like feel. Had a Sledgehammer-like feel. And in the middle, and the reason I say that is because one of the stop motion portions in that song had her bite into a watermelon, and then all this fruit comes around her face and forms into a fruit face. Basically forms her into a fruit face. Not like what happened with Peter Gabriel and Sledgehammer, because instead of having what made it, because you saw holes and stuff, because this was just regular big old fruit like apples and pears and all that and bananas, but it was supposed to be her as a fruit. Basically, it was supposed to be her face made into a fruit face. But instead of like having grass in the background when he split apart in Sledgehammer and you see nothing but grass in the background, they didn't do that with this. They just had Tupperware as the background. But my point is, even then you saw that inspiration. Heck, we had somebody. It's called Painted or something. It's a video, and it's a female. I think she did it herself, or she did it with help. But basically, she paints herself as a living wall, as a living what easel, whatever it is. Basically, a living, painting. She basically got turned into a living painting. She basically allowed herself to get drawn different, all white, have some black stripes, stuff like this, just blending in with basically blending in, almost being chameleon-like. Blending in and becoming one with the rest of the painting, the rest of the picture. And somebody had commented at one of the sites it was embedded on, the video was embedded on, that they felt a Sledgehammer-like feel when they saw this painted deal. Heck, and like I said, it's just, again, it just shows you that the potential is there. It is. And if they have to, if these female up-and-coming singers or musicians, artists, have to rely on someone, there are independent animators like Bill Pimpton, Joanna Presley, the lady that did Rocks in My Pockets this past year, You have all these people that could do music videos for you to your specifications. They can. They can, and to their specifications, and they know it. They know it, and that's why I still believe that someday, sooner than later, a female singer, whether it's an established one, an international one, or one that's on the rising, an independent up-and-comer, one is going to come out and they're going to capture that magic that Peter Gabriel captured with the Sledgehammer music video, and they're going to create their own, with their own song. People are going to see, and I guarantee you, when that video happens and people see it, they're going to see the similarities, almost iconically, scene by scene, and they're going to say, like, this person was inspired by, this person took their inspiration from Sledgehammer. You could see it. You can see it. And like I said, there is a lot of female artists out there that could do this, established, up and coming, or internationally. And that's why I still believe it. And like I said, I've listed off some of the established. There's probably some up and comers. It can be done. I mean, Bojack is Bojack is one of those international artists independently that proves it can be done. Proves it indefinitely. What is it? Her name's, what's her name? Kim Greaves or something like that did In Your Arms, the one with the jelly beans, the music video. She's proven it can be done. Lady Six has proven it can be done. Miss Kitten, in her own way, has proven it can be done. Joanna Wise, with what she did on Peppermint, proves it can be done. And I know someday down the road, I believe, and I know it's going to happen. It is. If it's someone established, I'll be surprised. But I think it's going to be someone either internationally or someone on the rise. But I know a female singer, artist is going to do it, music artist is going to do it very soon. So if I'm you guys, I keep an eye out for that. Because I believe it's going to happen. And it's going to happen probably sooner than you think. And that's why I still believe it. Let me know what you guys think, though. Do you think it'll happen? Let me know down below. Talk to y'all later.